This week we're going to work on number 17 of Code.org, Functions with Artist. Everyone's been doing fantastic work on Code.org and we're almost done with the entire course. So great work with everybody. Let's take a look at this one, Functions with Artist. So just to review, we've been working on functions, and a function is when you label code so that it's easy to bring it up over and over again. So, you could label code a square, or you could label it, a rectangle, or whatever you want to call it, and then you just bring it over. After you label it, you can just bring it up over and over again. It makes it simple. So let's take a look at this one. What's going to happen when you click run? First, you're going to draw a square. Here's our square. Then you jump backwards, and he's going to draw a square again. So it's going to draw our two squares. And will they overlap? Let's see, because you move forward. No, it's not going to overlap because you jump backwards by 175. Let's try D. Okay, now let's take a look at using functions to complete drawings. So we have to make the glasses here. If you didn't have a function, you'd have to say forward, turn right, repeat 4 times. But they have that for you here, draw a square. So let's just take a look. So you draw your square. Now we have to get from here all the way to here. Okay? So we're going to move forward. Let's try forward by 100. Let's just see how it goes. So let's try 175 because it says it's 75 apart. That was 100. So let's make it 175. 175. I'll move my function out of the way here. So let's look at this. Now I'm going to take my function again and draw a square. So functions make it easier for us. You just label this code, draw a square, and then every time you want to draw a square, you just put that in there. Let's take a look at the next one. Build a function that will create this star. Okay, so let's look at what they want us to do. They want us, so we're going to see it says the function says draw a star. Now we're going to make it. What do we want to do? We want to go forward by 25. And just like that example, number 1, we got to jump backwards. So we want to jump backwards. And so that will make it go forward. We're going to jump backwards. And then what do they want us to do? They want us to turn 45 degrees. Turn 45 degrees. And how many times are we doing this? We're going to do it 8 times because it says there's 8 arms of the star. We're going to repeat this 8 times. So now notice we just labeled this function star. We create this code, we label it star. Now we put draw a star and we run it. It goes like this. So we already know how to draw a star here. Now this looks tricky, but we already know how to draw a star. So first let's just do this star again. All right, so what was our star? It was move forward, then it was jump backwards. Jump backward by 25, and then you're going to turn right. Turn right. So this is the same one as the last one, and remember there's 8 sides. So this is the same one that we did last time. So we have draw a star. So let's just see, we go to functions, and we draw a star. So we got that. We know now how to draw a star, and these are going to be the same. We just have to jump. What do we have to do? The jump between the first and second is 200 pixels. So jump 200. So let's do a function. Then we're going to do again. We're going to jump between the second and third by 100. We're going to jump. Okay, that gets us to here. Then what are we going to do there? Draw a square again, just star again. Okay, so functions make it easier for us because every time we want to make a star, you just use that function rather than having to do it over and over and over again. So this one looks a little intimidating, but it can be done, and we're going to do it. So first thing we have to do is we got to figure out how we're going to draw a window. Okay, well the first thing we're going to do with the window is we're going to move forward. So say move forward. And they tell us, do they tell us anything about the window? Yep. Each window is 25 pixel square. So it's 25, and each one of these sides is 25. So move forward by 25. and then you're going to turn right by 90 degrees, and let's repeat that 4 times. Let's take a look how that goes. So now we have our function where we're going to draw a window. So we go to functions and draw a window. Let's see how that goes. Well, that does one of them, so we want to do all 4 of them. So let's do this. Let's turn right. And we're actually going to make this a nested loop, and 1, 2, 3, 4, because there's 4 little windows in one big window. So we're going to make that a nested loop here. So let's see how this draw. Now when we do draw window, it's going to do all of these. We'll run the nested loop. So good. That gets us 1. So what do they tell us? They tell us we have to jump 100. So let's jump forward by 100. Let's take a look. So we draw a window. Okay, so we did that. Now we want to do this another. Let's do this 2 times. Let's do this 2 times. Let's see. We do this 2 times. Okay, so that gets us here. And now what we'll do is we'll draw another window again. Draw a window again. Now we don't want to do this 3 times, because if we make this repeat loop 3 times, it will get us out to here. So let's just do it to here. Okay, we draw a window. Now we're going to turn to the right. Turn to the right by 90 degrees. That will face us this way. The bottom windows are 150 pixel jump from the top set. So what are we going to do? We're going to turn to the right and we're going to jump 150. Let's take a look how this, oh, I'm sorry about that, 150. Let's take a look how this goes. That gets us down here. Now we're going to turn to the right. Oh, I'm sorry, we have to draw a window first. I'm sorry. Before we turn to, we got to draw a window first. So let's jump. We turn to the right, we jump forward, and then we have to draw a window. Draw a window. So that gets us there. Turn to the right. Now we have to jump. Okay, we have to jump. And what did we do the first time? We jumped 100 pixels. Forward by 100. And then what are we going to do when we jump? We're going to draw a window. Okay, so let's see how that goes. Oh, didn't do it. What's that right? We got to jump a little bit farther. We're going to have to jump 200. Let's make this 200, because remember, we don't have that window there. So let's try 200. So the function makes it easier. Once you label that code about the window, it makes it easier. We are going to build something fancy, and first we have to do is draw a square. So this is, we know how to draw a square. We go forward, we do actions, we turn to the right, and we repeat loop 4 times. And then we have our function draw a square. It does all this. Oh, what's wrong? We got to turn to the left. Turn to the left. And how much should we make it? We want to make this, let's try 25. Not big enough, let's try, let's see, do they tell us anything about how much they want it to be? Let's try 50. Sometimes you got to experiment. Okay, 50. Okay, 50 and turn to the left. Now let's look at number 7. So we already have this here, how to draw a square, but what they want is we want to draw from inside to make this even easier. Okay, so call the draw a square function from inside your draw a line square function to make this even easier. Okay, so we have draw a line of squares down here. Okay, so we have our function draw a square, and now we have draw a line of squares. So how do you draw a line of squares? Well, it's easy. What you're going to do is you're going to have a function draw a square. Okay, so you're having a function with a function in it, and then you're going to have to jump. Actually, you're going to jump forward by 100. So let's see this. So now we do draw a line of squares. It's saying do this function. The function draw a line of squares is doing the function draw a square, and then you're jumping. So let's take a look. So this is going to get 1, and then what we'll do is we'll just do this 3 times. Okay, let's make this 3 because we're making it 3 because there's 3 boxes. So this function, draw a line of squares, first it draws a square. First it runs the program draw a square, and then it jumps forward and repeats it, loops it 3 times. Okay. Now let's look at the next one. Whoa, so this one looks really elaborate. But now we have this function, draw a line of squares. So the first thing we could do is we could say, draw a line of squares. So let's take a look at that. That gets us here. Now what do we have to do? We got to turn around so that we run the other way. So we'll do turn right, and then we'll do turn right. So that gets us 180 degrees. And then we'll do draw a line of square again. So what we're going to do is we draw a line of squares, and then we're going to turn to the right, and we turn to the right, and that gets us facing this way again. 180 degrees gets you in the opposite direction. Then you just draw your squares again. So you see how functions, it makes it so much easier for us because we don't have to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again.